Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to highlight some of the best pre-built gaming PC options that are available on Amazon right now. Do note that Black Friday is coming up. I really don't know how great the pre-built deals are going to be during Black Friday. If I recall, last year they weren't anything spectacular, so maybe it would be beneficial if you waited a little bit, but want to go over the options that are available right now, so I have something to compare it to when Black Friday week does kick off. With that being said, really the best value-centric PCs right now to buy from a pre-built standpoint are north of $1,000. And now if you want to go south of $1,000, I have one option that I thought was okay, and that is the Skytech Blaze 2 gaming PC with a Ryzen 3 3100 and a GTX 1650 Super, 500GB SSD, 8GB of DDR4 RAM. Now, it notes it typically goes for $950. That would be an egregious price, would not pay that. However, there is a $100 discount on it, taking it down to $850, which I think is a somewhat acceptable price. Again, just looking at the south of $1,000 options, right now there aren't a lot of great ones on Amazon. I mean, you see some options that have like a GT 1030 in it, and like, for like an $800 PC, mind you, and please don't buy that. That is not very good at all. To give you guys an idea, a 1650 Super does go for around $320 to $340 on eBay right now, so if you deduct that from the $850 price point, you're basically getting all the other components for a little over $500, which I think is okay for a Ryzen 3 CPU, 500GB SSD, 8GB of RAM, Windows 10 in there as well. You get the case. It's okay from a value standpoint. Is it great? No, but if you want to really stick to that south of $1,000, that's one option that I thought was okay. Okay, now let's talk about the options that are a little bit more, beneficial from a value standpoint. The CyberPowerPC, the Gamer Xtreme with an Intel Core i5 11400F, that's 2.6 GHz, but it does turbo boost, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, and an RTX 2060, that is $1,030. Now, if you look at how much an RTX 2060 is, right now they're going for around $550 to $600, so that's a significant portion of that build. Like that's what I'm saying. From a value standpoint, that this build is quite a bit better than the other one. Yes, it's a little bit more, but a $550 GPU, $600 GPU, that knocks pretty much all the other parts down to what, $430, $450, around that range, and that's pretty good. And it's a 500GB NVMe SSD with this as well, so that's quite good. I think from a value standpoint, this is pretty solid, all things considered, given the market space we're in right now. So yeah, that's not a bad option at all. So after that, we're launching right into $1,500 because a lot of the other options are at around $1,000 to like $1,300-ish. They are very similar to this with like, sometimes you'll get like a GTX 1660 Super, something like that. But if you want a 3060, you're getting up to that $1,500 threshold now. The Skytech Archangel 3 with a Ryzen 5 3600, a 6-core 3.6 GHz, RTX 3060 12GB, a 1TB SSD, 16GB DDR4 RAM is $1,500 flat. I think that's a pretty decent deal given everything you're getting. With 16 gigs of RAM and RTX 3060, which, yeah, just looking at the price of an RTX 3060 is, like, pretty disgusting, but let me pull that up right now. You're talking about around $750 to $800 on that. $700 seems to be the basement price, $720-ish. But, yeah, that does cover a decent portion of the build, and with this, you do get a 1TB SSD, a Ryzen 5 3600, which is pretty nice, and 16 gigs of RAM, which is good. It also does note a 600-watt gold power supply, so that's quite nice. $1,500 I thought was an okay option. From a value standpoint, it's not as strong as some of the other builds, but okay nonetheless. Some other options, if you do want to stick with an RTX 3060 with some variants, there's a Skytech Shadow for $1,650. That includes an RTX 3060 Ti, so that's a little bit better than the 3060, but also a Ryzen 5 3600, 16GB of DDR4 RAM, a 1TB NVMe SSD, and once again, a 600-watt gold power supply. So $1,650 on that if you're interested, on the pricier side, but pretty good. Pretty good's a little bit of a stretch. Okay, let's stick with the okay as the superlative. Next up, the Allied Gaming Patriot with an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X, an RX 6800 XT, 16 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz RAM, a 512 gigabyte PCIe NVMe SSD, and that's it. That's like the one of the build, but you can always get extended storage. 800 watt, 80 plus gold power supply, $1,900. Now that's expensive, but let's look up how much an RX 6800 XT is going for. It's not for the faint of heart, let's just say that. Yeah, you're looking at the cheapest looks to be around $1,400, and it goes pretty higher than that. So that's a significant portion of this build for a 6800 XT being included. Now, I know a lot of people do not want to get AMD GPUs. People have, you know, issues with the drivers or whatever the case may be. But yeah, if you're in the market for an AMD GPU, and the CPU is quite good as well, Ryzen 5 5600X, that's not a bad option at all. And that's, you're going to be pushing some high-end games with that as well. So not bad for $1,900, all things considered. Then we do have the Skytech Shiva, which includes an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X 3.7 GHz, an RTX 3070, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, and a 650 watt gold power supply. That's $1,900 flat. It notes only one left in stock, but more are on the way. This is a high-end build. Like, you're playing 1440p, 4K, you're going for high settings, you're going for 60 frames per second. 4K, 60 FPS on all games maxed out is always something, like, no GPU can really guarantee you that. Just because there's always a bit of variance with those games, and 4K maxed out 60 is very difficult, especially when you're factoring in ray tracing and everything like that. That just gets very difficult. No consoles pushing that as well. That's why PS5s have all these different performance options, where the majority of new games on the PS5 don't run at 4K 60. That's just very, very difficult to do, especially with ray tracing enabled. But $1,900 for this with a 3070 is pretty decent. Then there's another option with a Ryzen 7 5800X. That's an ROG Strix 5800X Ryzen 7 RTX 3070, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a 512 gigabyte SSD, and a 1 terabyte HDD. $1,926 on that. So that is a higher end option, and you know, following a similar line to the Skytech Shiva, but a little bit better from a CPU standpoint as well. So that's not a bad option at all. If you're talking about RTX 3080 PCs, you're dropping a significant amount of change at that point. Like, you're talking $2,500 for the Skytech Shiva with a 3080 with that Ryzen 5 CPU aforementioned. ROG with a Intel Core i7 11700KF RTX 3080, 32 gigabytes of RAM, however, that's $2,650. So yeah, you're talking about spending a pretty penny, so I don't really like to talk about that too much, just because, like, if you're in the market for that, you probably got FU money. That being said, I have a 3080 PC. I do not have FU money. I just got very, very lucky last year with getting an RTX 3080 PC with at a very cheap price, comparably speaking to what the market is right now. Very, very grateful that somehow it came in clutch for me, so I'm very grateful for that. And if you bought a PC last year, you know, with the appreciating value of these PCs, you're probably pretty happy about that with what happened. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Again, Black Friday is right around the corner. Black Friday week, a lot of deals are gonna be coming. Are we gonna have deals on these top level PCs going on sale? I find that a little bit hard to believe. However, there was a deal during Prime Week, the Prime Day sale on Amazon. If you're a Prime subscriber, they dropped the price of a mid-range CyberPower PC, which this is one that I've done testing on, from like $950 to like $680. That was like the one gaming PC deal they had that was really good. It went out of stock in like 5 seconds, but yeah, so that might be an option. So, like, earlier this year, we did see Amazon come in clutch with a deal like that, but we'll see how that shakes out for the Black Friday week as well, when you have a bunch of other retailers and e-tailers coming in and bringing in their own deals. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links to all of the PCs will be in the description box below. Remember, if you buy anything on Amazon, the links are affiliated, so that gives me a kickback to the channel. You don't spend anything extra. It's just, you know, I earn a little bit with that, and that goes towards buying more PCs to test on the channel and things of that nature. So that's going to do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.